Good morning, it's Tuesday. Welcome to week 4 of N.E.W.T.S. I am so behind, as I mentioned in the last video, but I just wanted to update you. I finished *N.E.W.T.S Against the Night last night, and honestly, I might need to reread the last 20 pages. I literally finished it, put it on my bedside table, turned off the lights, and went to sleep. I am just so tired from this entire weekend and the camping trip. I think it's about a 4 stars, maybe 4.5. Like I said, I'm gonna need to reread the end. I just wasn't as captivated as I was with An Ember in the Ashes. Didn't like Laya's character as much this time around. She does get better at the end. The Keenan Nightbringer twist was pretty crazy. I was not expecting that at all. But I need to go to work. I will update you guys later. I am halfway through Kingsbane, so I'm going to be reading that throughout the week to hopefully finish by the 31st. And I brought Save the Date with me to hopefully read a little bit throughout the day as well on my breaks. And hopefully we'll finish strong, hopefully. Hello, it's much later in the day. It's almost, I think it's past 9 o'clock. I just wanted to talk about A Torch Against the Night a little bit. I think it's a 4.5 stars. There were some bits in the middle where I just really wasn't feeling it, and I think that's part of why it took me quite a while to get through it. But I still really loved it. I loved seeing Laya come back in the end, all of Hell's stuff. I hope she's okay in the next book. I know she's trying to protect her sister. Everything that she went through with losing her family was just kind of gut-wrenching to read about. It really, really sucked. I'm probably gonna have to make an individual video about this series to talk about it because I really don't want to spoil anything for you now. Elias's ending was 100% not expecting that. I thought he was going to die. I really didn't see any way around it until the other option around it was announced. So good though. Just those middle bits that took it down from a 5 stars to a 4.5. Still really loved it. That scene in the end where she hears Darian's voice after I don't know how many months of not being with him and searching for him, and then having him and him being knocked out for I don't even know how long. And I'm glad that it happened, but it also interrupted Laya and Elias's bonding time, which I'm still rooting for them. We'll see what happens. 4.5 out of 5 stars, so good. Now I'm going to start Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I have flown through her books in the past. I've read quite a few, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a quick read. It's only 417 pages. I'm going to try and read about 100 now and just see where this goes, how long it takes me. I did listen to Kingsbane at work today. I think I got through 4 or 5 chapters. I just wasn't feeling wanting to listen to anything and have to pay so much attention to it, but I think I'm going to try and listen to some more tomorrow. I need to finish it by the end of the week, so hopefully I can. And if I do any reading tonight, we'll see. I really, really want to try. I really, really need to. I will update you guys in the morning and let you know how it went. Okay, it's late, which I am going to regret so much tomorrow. But I finished Save the Date. I only read 60 pages yesterday, so I basically read 300 and something today, 312, which I knew was most likely going to happen, but I really, really loved Save the Date. I think it was a 5 out of 5 stars. I haven't read a contemporary book in quite a while, and Morgan Matson is just the queen of contemporary. She's not my queen. Sarah Dessen used to be my above all. I haven't read anything by her in a really long time, but I've read quite a few of Morgan Matson's books and have loved every single one of them. if you've read it, then you'll understand the characters I'm talking about. I loved like the family dynamic behind the Grants. The book is basically about Charlie, who is finishing high school, whose family is all coming into town for her sister Linny's wedding. She has one sister, Linny, and then she has three brothers. Danny, JJ, and Mike. And Mike has not been around for the last year and a half. Him and his mom had a kind of a falling out. Their mom writes a comic strip about their family, and she kind of crosses a line by putting something in the comic strip that he specifically asked her not to. And I get like she thought it was funny, but I feel like she did cross a line. Like he said, please don't put this in here. Basically, he had to jump out of his, at the time, girlfriend's window, butt naked, and drive home, and she threw his, like, clothes into the tree, like, just getting everything out of her bedroom because her parents came home early, and his mom put that into the comic strip, even though he asked her not to, because his girlfriend Corinne's parents were really strict, and if they found out, then they were going to be in a lot of trouble. And the mom did it anyways, and her parents figured it out, and Corinne broke up with him. So it kind of caused like a rift between them, and he had a little bit of resentment, just because he felt like their entire lives had been put on display, and they'd never been asked if it was okay with them, which is totally valid. The mom never did, but I think he probably should have spoken up sooner about it instead of holding it in. So they're all finally like back together in their childhood home, which is being sold, and we don't find out why until the end of the series, which was a shocker, but that I did see coming a little bit, which is the problem with contemporary books for me, is that they're just the same. Jenny Han, pretty much everybody who like specializes in contemporary, I should say, there's like a formula for it. So the main character, Charlie, is like obsessed with her brother's best friend, Jesse, who turns out to be like a dirtbag, and this guy, Bill, that she has been spending the entire book with, basically, who is helping plan her sister's wedding. They just have so much in common, and from the beginning, I was like, okay, I like her and Jesse because they're spicy, but Bill is just a better character, and he just turned out to be a better character. Like, Jesse just kind of turned out to be a dirtbag. Like, basically, Charlie's been in love with him her entire life, and towards the end of the book, they were, like, finally getting together, sort of, and she just is kind of like, I can't believe this is happening, like, telling him all of these times when they've had these small moments and how she's had a crush on him forever, and he just kind of goes, like, I hope you don't think this is leading to something, like, I'm going back to college, you're going somewhere else, like, let's just have fun and stuff. And thank God she realizes that that's not what she wants, and she leaves. And then she has this cute moment with Bill, which I was hoping for. I knew Jesse was going to be a dirtbag. Just every time that they sort of like talked throughout the book, he was always like, can I see you tonight? Like, just being a dick. I don't know how else to explain it. Overall, though, I really love the book. It's been a long time since I've read like a contemporary in one sitting, but once I finish Kingsbane tomorrow, that makes 5 books, so I'm down 4. I just have the Raven Cycles and the Giver to get through, which should take no time at all. I think I'm going to read the Giver tomorrow on ebooks, which I should be able to get through in one day, and then finish off the readathon with the Raven King on Friday and Saturday, and finish Kingsbane while I'm at work. So I'm just knocking them all off one at a time so I can get my diploma. If you haven't seen, G is handing out like graduation certificates if you complete your profession, which is amazing. She is amazing. I'm gonna put her link right here. Definitely go check her out. She puts so much effort into this readathon, which honestly makes it worth all of this stress because she just makes it so magical. So I'm gonna go to bed now. I made a mistake. I washed my hair tonight. It needed to be washed, but it means I'm gonna have to get up early tomorrow and curl it or straighten it or whatever it is that I'm going to decide to do, which is not good since I stayed up late tonight. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hello, I am home from work. I am exhausted. My wrist is so sore from physical therapy yesterday. I was just having a lot of difficulty with it, so I'm heating it. That's supposed to like loosen up the muscles. I don't even know if that's really what's wrong, or if it's just because this week from being gone last week, I've been trying to catch up. But I just wanted to update you. I decided to read 1984 instead of The Giver. 1984 is my boyfriend's actual favorite book, which is for my A in potions, I believe. He also really does like The Giver, and the reason I picked it was because he already had the book at his parents' house, and we did go a couple weeks ago before we went camping, and I meant to pick it up then and just never did. And still hadn't had a copy of anything to read for that challenge up until today, when I went on iBooks and saw that 1984 was 99 cents. So downloaded that. I'm like 40 pages in already. Ebooks I just kind of like fly through. I know I'll be able to get through that quickly today, finish it, which means I'll be able to focus on the Raven King tomorrow and Saturday. We definitely need to clean the house up from camping. Our living room always just kind of becomes like a dumping ground for all of that stuff that we're bringing back. So while we are cleaning tomorrow, I also need to finish up Kingsbane. I don't know how many hours I still have left on it. I know I'm at least halfway through. So I should be able to get them both done, which I'm super excited about. I'm hoping that I can stay up and finish 1984. I don't have work tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm gonna stay up late and finish 1984 if I have to, and then sleep in tomorrow, try to be up by like 9 or 10 so that I can start the Raven King, clean, and finish up Kingsbane. And I'm probably just gonna put Bob's Burgers on right now and maybe take a little nap. We'll see. Hi. It is the absolute last day of N.E.W.T.S, and I am literally reading up until the last minute. It's 9:30. I finished Kingsbane, the audiobook, earlier, and thank God it's a trilogy because I have so many unanswered questions, and I'll talk about the book later because I am honestly still processing everything that happened. It was a lot. I will talk about it most likely tomorrow in my wrap-up, because it's late right now. I am halfway through the Raven Boys. I am really like flying through it, so I know I'll be able to finish it by tonight. And I am once again replacing my A for potions. I'm going to read The Walking Dead. I'm gonna use my Confundus charm and just read this. Honestly, I was reading 1984 and it just takes a lot more thought than I remember, and it is my boyfriend's favorite book, and I really don't want to rush through it because I'm already feeling like I don't like it, but it is a good book. I think this just happens when I have to rush through books for challenges like this, which is what happened when I read A Darker Shade of Magic, which I do want to reread. I had to rush through and read that to finish for the challenge, and I just did not like it. And I want to go through it again, and I don't want that to happen with 1984. It's his favorite book. I want to give it a little more respect than that. So The Walking Dead is one of his favorite TV shows. He really likes the comics. I actually got these for him. So once I finish The Raven King, I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then I will be done with my challenges. I would probably be finished with The Raven King by now, but it was just like a really busy day. We slept in till like 10 o'clock, and then we went and took our dog on a walk. And it was like 90 degrees. We went to breakfast afterwards, and we're just kind of like beat. We came home, and I was reading and could literally feel myself falling asleep, and it has been so hot in our apartment that I just was like sweating so much. So I got up and I told my boyfriend, I was like, I have to go lay down in the bedroom, like this is not working. So I tried to read and literally just fell asleep in the middle of reading for almost like 2 hours. So that really messed me up. But I'm gonna keep reading, keep pushing through. I will probably reread this series at the beginning of next year. I have just flown through these books, and I also feel like I'm pushing myself to finish The Raven King today, obviously because I want to finish it for N.E.W.T.S, but it's such a good series that I really want to dedicate a little more time to it. So I want to reread it sometime next year, most likely, just because it's already almost September, and I just have other books that I want to get to. So hopefully next year I'll be able to reread it and dedicate a little more time to it. Yeah, it's the last day of the readathon. Tomorrow I'm going to be setting up my new bullet journal. I haven't decided if I want to try and film a video for it or film like a flip through. We'll see, it just depends. I got an Archer and Olive notebook. It's dotted. I'm in love. I'm gonna get back to reading. Hey guys, it's the end of the readathon. It's actually the 2nd of September right now. I originally was planning on updating yesterday, but I woke up with a migraine, and it's one of the worst ones that I've ever had. It literally did not go away until like 7 p.m. I was in the bedroom the entire day. I didn't leave until it was time to have dinner, which my boyfriend thankfully cooked. But I just wanted to wrap up really quickly the books that I read and my overall rating. I read all of the books that were required of me. I was literally up until like the very last minute of the 31st. It was a super busy month. If you didn't watch my vlogs for this entire month, I will link them down below. And in the end, I went camping with my boyfriend and his family for almost a week. It was my birthday on the 30th, so we were gone and doing stuff throughout that day as well. So it was really, really tough to get all of these read, but I managed to do it. So let's talk about what I read. For arithmancy, I only needed an A, and that was to read a book that ended on an even number. And I read The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I'm not really sure how to say her last name. I absolutely loved this series. It was so amazing. I kind of wish I hadn't read it for the Magical Readathon because I feel like I had to rush through them. So sometime next year in the beginning, I definitely want to do a reread, but I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I just really love like all of the characters together. They have such different like characteristic traits, and they bring so many different things to the table, and it just made me feel so many things with Gansey and Blue's like slow burn, with Ronan just like admiring and lusting and being in love with Adam pretty much the entire series, which I did not pick up on until like Blue Lily Lily Blue. But they were so cute. It was all just such a good like heartwarming story. I nearly died at the end. If you've read the series, you know why, but it turned out to be okay. But Noah was one of my favorite characters, and now he just basically like doesn't exist to them. I know that in Call Down the Hawk, which comes out in November, it's from Adam and Ronan's perspective, and basically they don't remember him. Like, that was Noah's sacrifice for Ganzi's life, that he would, like, they would give up the memories of him being in their lives. And it turns out that he's the one that, like, whispered to Ganzi as a child, saying that, like, your life will be spared on the line because somebody else on the ley line is dying when they should not be, and you will live when you should not be, and something like that. It was just such a sweet moment, and I'm so sad that his, like, character is gone. I really, really, really loved him. For Care of Magical Creatures, I also just had to receive an A, and that was to read a book with a title that starts with A. And I read An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, which also was amazing. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars just because, and this is how I feel about all middle books basically. The first book, there's like so much buildup and like world building and character development that you're getting, and the second book is kind of just like a bridge to get to the third book. I kind of always feel that way, that it's just there to help you get to the next point. It's not my favorite book of the series. I'm really, really hoping A Reaper at the Gates is even better. I still really love this. I didn't like that Laia just kind of like became a meek character, and it wasn't until the end that she finally started to like come back to her normal self. But I get it. She was just feeling so like dejected and run down, and she was trying to do so much, and it just felt like she was continuously failing. But she does it at the end. She unlocks her powers. She understands why it was never working around Keenan. He was a character that I kind of never liked from the beginning. He just was a jerk to her all the time, and I didn't like him. I really loved the story though. Still 4.5 out of 5 stars, just because it did take me a little bit longer to get into, and I kind of didn't like Laia. Next up, for Herbology, I needed to get an A and an E. For A, I had to listen to an audiobook or read a book with a green cover, and you all know how I feel about audiobooks, so I read The Alchemist by Michael Scott, which cracks me up to say every single time. I really liked this. I tabbed a little bit throughout the book. When I'm trying to read quickly, I just kind of forget to tab. But this was a really good book. I really liked it. It was really slow in the beginning, even though like a lot was happening. I just felt like stuff was just getting thrown out there without like any anticipation or build up to it. So that was a little disappointing. I did think it was going to be more about Nicholas Flamel, but it turns out it's about these like twins who are possibly fulfilling a prophecy. But overall, I really, really liked it. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I did purchase the second book, The Magician, from Barnes & Noble. I think that will get here on Wednesday. I'm excited to continue on with this series. It's got a lot of books in it, and I haven't read a series in a while that has more than like 3 books. The last one that I read, the last one that I finished was Throne of Glass, which I'm honestly still reeling from, even though I finished it in January and it's September now. But 4 out of 5 stars, still a really good read. For my E, I had to read a book that was between 350 and 390 pages, and I read Blue Lily, Lily Blue, which is the title I mess up every time, again by Maggie Stiefvater. Who knows? This book technically has like 387 pages, but there is an epilogue at the end that puts it at like 391. I don't care. I read it anyways. I really just wanted to continue reading this series. When I started The Raven Boy, I could not put it down, and I picked up The Dream Thieves immediately after, which I think might have been my favorite book of the series, just learning more about Ronan and kind of like who he is and his family, and seeing him come into his powers more and just kind of be a little bit of a better person. I just really loved that book the most. But Blue Lily, Lily Blue was also really good. It kind of focuses a little bit more on Blue and her family life and what's going on with her. And the death at the end of this, I'm just gonna say Persephone dies. That was really, really sad. I was not expecting it at all. 5 out of 5 stars, I'm pretty sure is what I gave this. I just love this series so much, so much. The next class that I had to test for was potions, which makes sense because if I haven't said it before, I know I said it in the first vlog, I want to be a potioneer. When I was younger, my sister and I used to like mix stuff up in bowls and pretend that we were potioneers, basically. So obviously that was what I chose, and I needed to get an O, outstanding, which means I had to get an A, E, and an O. So for A, I had to read my best friend's favorite book, and originally I chose The Giver, which is my boyfriend's favorite book. Yes, he's my best friend, whatever. I was supposed to pick that up from his parents' house like 2 weeks ago, and it never happened. So his actual favorite book is 1984, but he had The Giver at his parents' house, so I just wanted to read that and not have to spend any more money on a book that I knew I wasn't going to be super interested in. I read The Giver a really long time ago, and it was good, but I didn't want to have to purchase it again. And then I tried to read 1984. I downloaded it on iBooks for 99 cents, but it's honestly not a book that you can try and read in a day. I mean, you definitely could, but it's very dense, and there's a lot of like political undertones and just kind of a lot of important things. And I read it a while ago as well, and I remember just probably trying to have to like speed read through that for some class assignment and thinking, okay, this is kind of cool, like I like this. I really like dystopian books. I liked Anthem by Anne Rind, which kind of follows along the same of like, we're a we, there's no individuality, censorship, government control, you're always being watched, you know, no thinking for yourself, we're a collective we, there's no individuality anymore. And that's a lot of what 1984 was, but it's my boyfriend's favorite book. And as I was reading, I just could tell that I was like not really taking in what the book was trying to convey. And because it's his favorite book, I didn't want to do that. So I set it aside. I'm still reading a little bit every day. I just want to give it a little more like dedication and time because it is a book that's really important to him. So what I ended up doing was I read The Walking Dead, the first volume, Days Gone By. The Walking Dead is one of his favorite TV shows, and I got him the first 4 comics in the series last year or the year before, I'm not sure. He really loves the TV show. He'd been really wanting to read the comics, so I bought them for him, and I just used my Confundus charm to make this fit the challenge. I really liked it. We have watched the first couple of episodes, and I feel like The Walking Dead does a really good job of following along with the comics. There are some deviations, and as the show continues, I know that there is much more deviation. I know that there is much more deviation from the comic series, but I liked it. I don't know if I would continue on with the series, but I will probably definitely get him a couple more of the comics so that he can continue on. I gave it like a 4 out of 5 stars. It was good, but not great. For my E, I had to read book with green on the cover, and I picked Save the Date by Morgan Matson. She is one of my favorite contemporary authors. I think she just does summer romance and love, teen love specifically, so well. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. I read it in like one sitting, basically. I planned to read it in 2 days. The first day I only read 60 pages, and then the second day I just read the entire thing, pretty much. It's basically about this family who, their mom writes a comic based on their lives called Grand Central Station, and they've all kind of grown up and moved away. One of the brothers does not talk to the family anymore. He had kind of an embarrassing moment happen, and he asked his mom, please don't put it in the comics, and she did anyways, and it kind of ruined their relationship because he has always felt like they've never had a choice in having their lives put into the comics. And while I definitely think that the mom should have spoken to him about it, it seemed like he was kind of holding these feelings in for quite a long time and should have said something before and not just blown up on her, because had he said something before, she might have been a little bit more respectful of his wishes. So they're all separated. They live, you know, in different states and in different areas, except for Charlie, the youngest sibling, and her oldest sister, Lainey, I believe, is getting married. So they're all coming back to the house. She wants to get married at her childhood home, and it's going to be the first time in like a year and a half that all of the grandkids are home, but literally everything goes wrong with the wedding. The event planner, turns out she was not a real event planner. She was embezzling from the company, and she mixed up tons of appointments. So all of Lainey's decorations get sent somewhere else. The cake is wrong. The band is wrong, just everything is wrong. The groom's suits get mixed up. It was just like a shit show for her. And the new event planners that come, who work for the company that Constance, I believe is her name, used to work for, they come and help, and it's called Where There's a Will, There's a Way, I believe. And the assistant, Bill, is about Charlie's age, and they kind of start hanging out, but Charlie is in love with her brother's best friend, and he's a dick. I didn't like him at all. I definitely liked Bill more. I knew from the beginning that this guy Jesse was just a dick. So I'm glad that she ended up with Bill, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I wish Morgan had more books that I could read because I just fly through them, and I really love them. Lastly, for my O, I had to read a book that starts with a prologue, and I read Kingsbane, which is a big boy. I think it's 609 pages, and I actually listened to it on audiobook while I was at work and finished it like on the 29th or the 30th, I can't remember. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I loved Furyborn way more. I didn't have a problem in Furyborn. I didn't have a problem in Furyborn with the switching perspectives, but in this book I did. I definitely liked Ileana better than I liked Raelle. She just kind of became a little whiny to me, and I didn't like her like turning towards Corian, and I was just more interested in Ileana's perspective and seeing her grow into her powers and fight for her friends and the people that she loved. I think I want to make a separate video for the series since I love it so much. I still really loved it. I still loved coming back to the world and learning more about Corian and who he is, and kind of bridging the gap to what happened to make Raelle the Blood Queen and not the Sun Queen as we thought she was to begin with. Still really good. It just took me a long time to get through, so I'm glad I kind of started at the beginning of the month listening to it little bit by little bit. And it was a good thing that I read it on audiobook, because I don't know if I would have finished it. I still have a love-hate relationship with audiobooks, but I haven't canceled my subscription yet. I might move over to Scribd. That seems to have a lot more options. You don't get to keep the book, but you can read as many as you want for only $8, and Audible is $14.99, and you only get to listen to 1 book per month. You get 1 credit to download any book at any price, and then you can pay like 30 something more dollars for 3 more credits that equal up to like $11 or something. I'm not really sure how it works. I think I would like Scribd better. It's cheaper, and then I won't feel guilty purchasing the physical books. We'll see. So yeah, I graduated, I finished, I am a full-fledged potioneer. I had so much fun doing this. G actually has certificates for if you manage to complete all of your reading, so I'm going to print that out at work tomorrow and put it in my bullet journal. I am done with this bullet journal. I have enough pages for September, but not having the dots has really bothered me, so I got an Archer and Olive notebook, and I'm already switching over to that. So I'm going to set September up into there and just move over completely. I'm glad I got to finish the N.E.W.T.S in this notebook. I will probably use the last couple of pages to put like my certificate here, and just maybe add some pictures and stuff. We'll see. If you participated in the N.E.W.T.S, please let me know down below what your career was, what books you read. I had so much fun. I didn't participate in the Twitter sprints and questions as much this year just because I had so much going on, but still so much fun. I'm so excited for next year to pick a new career. I don't know what I should pick. Let me know down below what you think would be a good fit for me. Honestly, my sister is the only person that watches this. She sent me a video of my niece watching my videos, and if they're the only people that watch it, who cares? Hi Brina. Hi Ellie. You're so cute. I love you so much. I love both of you guys. I'm jealous that you live in Hawaii. It's freaking hot over here right now. I feel like I'm dying. I'm like sweating right now. I hope I get to come see you guys next year, and I will try to put you in my vlog. I think that would be fun. Maybe we'll do a video. Who knows? Now I feel weird because I'm just talking directly to my sister. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!